In this lecture, we are looking at the TextEdit element. From the Qt documentation, they say that TextEdit item displays a block of editable formatted text. And this is a small example of how you use it. So let's copy this and create a new project. It's a Qt quick application. We're going to call it TextEdit Demo. Save it in the usual location. Choose our kit. And we are going to paste in the text that we copied. Control A, Control I to line up things nicely. And change the title here to TextEdit Demo. Let's run the application. Okay, you see that we see our text here, but we are seeing these tags here. Why is that? That is because we didn't set the text format to rich text. Okay, this is used to show simple texts like this. Run again. Okay, you see that it says hello world. But if you want these tags to be processed, you can do something like text format, rich text, I think. Yes. And we can now use the text that we had here from the Qt documentation. These are HTML tags if you are familiar with HTML. Let's do this. And if we run, hello is going to be bold, world is going to be in italic, just like this. You can also position this thing in the middle, as we've been doing all along, anchors, center in parent. Run again. Okay, you can also delete and edit the text. This is a TextEdit element, by the way. Okay, but this thing can handle multiple lines of text. So what I'm going to do is bring in some text that I have prepared that has some features that I want to show off. I want to separate this in different lines so that things are very visible, because this is a long piece of text. And I want you to notice that inside we have strong tags that are going to make the text bold. We have carriage return characters and new line characters inside. We also have set the font color to be red for this piece of text here. If we run this, we're going to see that our text is clipped off. It is trying to show this in one line, but the width is just not enough to do that. So what is happening here, the text is being chopped off to our width. If we want our text to be shown, we should use the wrap property. Okay, so we can use TextEdit, wrap, run to see the effect of this. You can see that our text is wrapping in the given width of our text edit here, which is 240, but it is also not showing in the available height that we have here. So we should do something. It would really help if we could scroll through the text to see what is being shown in here. And the way to do that, you wrap your text edit into a Flickable element. If we look for Flickable in the documentation, we see that it is an item that wraps its children on a surface that can be dragged and flicked, causing the view onto the child items to scroll. And this is what we want. We want to be able to flick through the text that we have in our TextEdit element. So we are going to create a Flickable element. We're going to take this TextEdit, grab it all, and put it inside our Flickable element. We give it an ID. And the width of this Flickable is going to be the width of this text input ID. You need to tell this Flickable element the height of the content that it is expected to show. And you specify that using the content height property. And it's going to be text input ID implicit height. because this is the height of the text that we want to show, but we should also give it a height. So we are going to give it a height of 300. Let's run and see what we have. Notice that we can scroll now, but the text is not centered and we can't really scroll. It is still trying to show the entire height of the text. So what we can do, we can clip this text, set the clip property of this thing to true, and take this centering statement here back to the parent item, which is the Flickable element. Run the application again, and this is much better. Okay, you can see that we can scroll through the entire text that we have. Because is bold, because we set it to strong in the text here. You can see that localhost is in red text because we wrapped that into the font tags and gave it a color attribute. You can also see that the TextEdit element supports many properties that we have seen to the text element. We have the color of the text, we have the font. The last thing I want to show you in this lecture is how you can capture the text that is inside this thing here. You can attach an on editing finished signal and say console log the current text is, say, the text. Okay, just like this. But to do this, you need a way to take focus from this text edit here. So to do that, we are going to give it an ID. And down below, we are going to put a rectangle. Inside, we have a mouse area. The width is going to be 200, why not? Height is going to be 100, and color is going to be red. Let's make it red. And we want it to be shown to the bottom of the Flickable element. We want the top line of this rectangle to be to the bottom of the Flickable. So we're going to say anchors top equals mFlickable bottom. Let's run to see if the position is what we want. Okay, this looks fine. And when we click in the mouse area, we want to give the focus to the rectangle. So we say mRectID focus equals true. Let's try this. Run the application. When we click on this thing, we are grabbing the text inside this text edit. Let's delete the entire text and say, this is my new text. Click this thing, and you see that it says, let's search actually, control find, this is my new text. And you see that this is what we just typed in here. Okay, you can grab the text by listening on the on editing finished, but you can also directly grab the text inside here if you happen to need that. And it's very easy to do. You can say console log the new text, and you pass in the ID for the text input. So we're going to say text input text, just like this. You have to append the text to this string here. And when you click this thing, we have the text that we want. This covers our usage of text input. You can use it to show some text. You can use some HTML tags to make your text beautiful. For that to work, you have to set the text format to TextEdit rich text here. You also can set different wrap modes to have different effects for your text. And you can look in the documentation for the options that are available for the wrap mode that you can use in here. This covers all we set out to do in this lecture. In the next one, we're going to look at the mouse area in a little bit more detail and see how you can use it to drag and drop elements. I'll see you in the next lecture.